after the graveyard shift, but it's all the same. Have fun and Mario?
Mario?
Mario.
All right, thank you, crew, for that introduction. Yeah, we're definitely gonna hear some Mario, even though this is Luigi's mention. And I want to thank everyone who donated towards the donation incentive. So instead of showing the 80% no out of bounds category, we're gonna be showing the 100% category. I'll explain the difference between the categories in a moment, but for now, I guess we can just get started. So, can I get a countdown?
3, 2, 1, go!
So yeah, this is Luigi's mansion. We're first gonna walk upstairs here, and we're gonna trigger one of the longer cutscenes where we just. Oh, hang on. Sometimes my controller acts weird. Hang on. Okay, fix it. Okay, great start already. So yeah, we start off here by blowing out the candles, and then the ghosts realize that there's someone here, and we're just gonna get attacked by some ghosts. I'll tell a little bit during these first few rooms over here, the story. Like Luigi, he won a mention in a lottery where he never entered in the lottery though, but he still won, so that seems pretty lucky, right? Well, once Mario was gonna check it out first, and when Luigi got here... Oh, right, we're doing 100. I almost forgot. Maybe I gotta pay attention during these first few rooms, because part of 100% is that we need to get some money as well. So... I'll come back to the story later. I should probably first explain about the 100% category, because one of the one of the things we need to do for 100% is get at least 100 million in cash. So during these first few rooms where there's still not many ghosts, we're gonna be grabbing. We're gonna check several areas in the rooms, checking whether there's some money in there or not. Fortunately, there wasn't in there. Kind of messed up there. I should have probably warmed up, but oh well. So yeah, since there are not many ghosts in these rooms yet, we have some time to check some extra spots to see if there's extra money there. There I went for a double, where instead of just catching one ghost at once, it would be faster to just catch two ghosts at once. I'm not gonna go for that on this set of ghosts, because the next set of ghosts actually starts spawning when you suck up that first one. The one in the closet is basically an extra one you wanna capture to complete this room. Oh. Didn't need to check that closet, but anyway, did it better in the end. Here, quickly, we're gonna check this thing. There's some money in there, and while we wait... Oh, there was a banana there, I didn't even see that. Oops. There's a lot going on in these first few minutes, so first I'm gonna talk through the things really quickly, and then hopefully in a moment I can explain it more calmly. So now we just got the key towards the hallway on the first floor over here, and here we're gonna see the first portrait ghost. Before we only captured these smaller ghosts, these very generic ghosts. They don't give you anything when you capture them. Also, lots of like smashing. So yeah, we're gonna capture the first portrait ghost here. And one thing about the portrait ghosts is they all have some unique way to let them start capturing them. You just have to wait a little bit, and then you'll show his heart and you can start capturing him. So here we got the first ghost, and as you can see with the portrait ghost, they're actually, they start dropping a lot of pearls. These pearls are one of the biggest sources of money which we're gonna get. You can see in the bottom right my pearl count in total. We got 4 small ones, 4 medium ones, 1 big one. Especially getting those big ones is gonna be very important, because each big pearl is worth 1 million. And in a run where we need 100 million in total, and we capture like 20 portrait ghosts, or at least 20 portrait ghosts with rough pearls, that adds up. At least on the top of my head, the medium pearls are 100,000 and the small pearls are 50,000. 50,000 or something lower than that. The smaller pearls don't matter that much. Also, Devil's Lydia quickly went through her. We just have to open up the window. She gets gold, and when she tries to close the window, she actually shows her heart, and we can capture her. So now we're already heading to the first boss of this game, which is Chauncey. Like you could already hear the crying earlier, and it's actually a baby. Once we start shaking his rocking horse, he'll show up, and then he wants to play with us. We're just really mean and shoot the ball towards him, and yeah, he doesn't like that. He feels like we're cheating because we're so big and he's so small. So he's gonna use his baby magic. Don't ask me how he got that, but he turned us really, really small, and now we're in his crib, and now all these big rocking horses show up out of nowhere, and Chauncey is gonna try to, you know, just defeat us, I guess. So, for this boss fight, before we can start capturing Chauncey, we need to first go through some attacking phases here. He's gonna throw some rocking horses at us, but if we actually go all the way towards the wall on each side, those rocking horses will attack us faster. That way, after shooting two rocking horses, I'm gonna stand over here, and with the correct timing, hopefully I can catch that ball in midair, and then we can quickly capture Chauncey over here. I'm not gonna go full out on him, because if you bring him below 50 health over there, he's actually gonna go for a slower cycle. So we want to keep Chauncey above 50 health for the second phase, just because the attacking would be slightly faster, and then we can still go 2 for a 2 cycle. It's impossible to get a 1 cycle on Chauncey. Like, I think the test optimally did like 95 or something. Getting 95 out of his health. Also, we're doing here a damage boost setup over here, and that way we still have some invincibility frames while that ball bounces on our head. And that's already the first boss. So much going on in this first area, but luckily we get a little bit of a cutscene over here. So here we grab a bigger key, and with this key we can open the door we saw right at the start of the run with all the vines in front of it. After each boss fight, Professor Egat is gonna talk to us and is gonna tell us, like, come back to the lab and bring back the portrait ghosts, because apparently the portrait ghosts were originally they were in portraits, and somehow they escaped. We don't know exactly why yet, why they escaped, but for now we're just helping Professor Egat over here, just to help them get them back. Now it's gonna be at this moment I can finally start explaining about the different categories. Like, currently I'm doing the 100% category, which has 3 main requirements we have to fulfill. We have to get 100 million in cash, which I talked about a little bit earlier. We need to get all the portrait ghosts, so there's 5 optional portrait ghosts, so we need to get those. And also we need to capture all the boos. So here, so yeah, normally to just complete the game, the 80% no out of bounds category, you just need to capture 40 boos to complete the game. However, there's 50 boos in total, so we need to capture all the boos in every room. Also, very slow ones, unfortunately. We're gonna walk over to this room in the back here. I'm gonna stand over here for a bit, and we get these grabber ghosts, and we're actually gonna set them up by letting us get grabbed by the first one, and we just lure them to a very specific spot over there. Heck, my video is acting like crazy right now. My video has been acting really crazy on the TV. Now it's fine, but it's still a little bit wonky. Anyway, that seems fine for now, so I'm just gonna continue to this room over here. We're quickly gonna grab out our camera here, just so Luigi doesn't get scared by these ghosts spawning. And we're gonna try to get these shy guys will start spawning. They'll spawn instead of 2, and hopefully we can get doubles on all of them. However, that one unfortunately didn't work that well. So here, I'm gonna go missed the double again. It's really weird sometimes with the hitboxes on these Shy Guys. Sometimes you flash them both and then it's just you're barely not close enough to actually start sucking them up. It can be a little bit annoying. Anyway, after we got other Shy Guys, these two dancers will start appearing. It's gonna take a little while before they show their hearts. There's gonna be hopefully early cycle over here. Unfortunately it isn't, so we gotta wait for like 10 seconds longer. It's completely random whether they show their heart early or not. Unfortunately they didn't show their heart yet, so I gotta wait here a little bit longer and they should show now. It does give us, since we have to wait anyway, it gives us some time to check some of the spots for money over here. So we check both of the... Actually gonna go back here and grab these scrolls. I'm gonna play it really safe on money. I would be really unfortunate if I didn't grab enough money during the run. So, fortunately, there wasn't any money in that lie there. Gonna go for a setup in the corner over here, and if I start aiming at the wall here and aim slightly up, oh, there's a poison mushroom there. It seems fine. Poison mushrooms are completely random. They can. Oh. Oops. Oh well. Go for the double there. Messed my setup there a little bit. But yeah, the poison mushrooms, they can randomly start appearing in spots where you can check for money. It's, you definitely want to avoid the poison mushrooms, because if you get hit by one, Luigi turns really small and he's not actually able to capture any ghosts. So we would just be stuck doing nothing for basically 15 to 20 seconds. Here, normally there's a poster in front of this button, but we already grabbed that poster through the wall earlier. And pressing that button, this hole opens, and oh my god, all these boos start appearing. Oh no, we released all the boos, those that were captured away. And there we see a bigger boo, which has an emerald on its head, or more like a ruby actually. So that doesn't seem good. And yeah, Professor Egat, he contacts us about those boos, and now I'm gonna start explaining a little bit about the boo mechanic. In almost every room in this mansion, there's gonna be a boo hidden. These boos are, you can only capture them in a lit room, so if the room is still dark, you can't actually find them, and if a boo would escape to a dark room, you can't capture it either. To advance the story, we need to have 5 boos, so we're gonna go over to some rooms we already cleared before. Gonna go over here and check some spots over here. In the bottom right, you can see a little radar with the yellow blinking light. Oh, that's really unfortunate. There's usually 2 spots that the radar reacts to. One is a decoy, which is either a ball or a bomb, and the other one is the boo. There's only a set amount of locations the boos can hide in. Oh, I accidentally saved there, and it's not too big of a deal. You try to avoid saving, just it's slightly faster to not save. Here, we're gonna check. Alright, decent RNG there. And I'm doing a little strat over here to capture these boos. You see me approximately every 10 health. You see me Luigi doing a little bit of a weird animation. That's actually called air pumping. With air pumping, you're able to keep the boos in static locations. It really helps for these smaller boos. It's not too big of an issue to do that yet, but for some boos with some more health, it's gonna definitely be more important.
Actually, I have a quick question from chat, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
If King Boo was in the cage you just opened, how was he responsible for putting Mario in the painting?
No, I never really thought about that.
Mario.
Maybe there's another culprit behind this then. But yeah, seriously, chat raises a good question. It's so I don't know. Anyway, over here, we're gonna start seeing the boos with a little bit more health. That one had 50. Like, boos up until 100 health usually don't give that many issues. Once we start looking at boos over that amount, it's gonna be a little bit more annoying. Here, instead of air pumping, I'm actually gonna lure the boo slightly closer to the door already. Just so, right when I capture the boo, I should be right next to the door. And now Professor Eget tells us, like, hey, it seems like you've been through a lot. Maybe you should go splash some water in your face. Maybe you should go to the bathroom. So that's where we're gonna head over now. Up until now, we couldn't enter this door yet. But now we can. And once we get here, oh, we see a crying toad. But well, we're just gonna get the ski and we're leaving the toad. Sorry, toad. We gotta go fast. And with that key, we can move on to finally advance with the story again. We're gonna head over to this room down here. And unfortunately, in this room, we can't do that much yet. So we're just gonna head to this next room over here. This is the mirror room. The mirror room is very interesting in the sense of that you can only see the ghost in the mirror. It makes it a little bit more difficult to actually figure out where they are. However, they always spawn in set locations, so I know exactly where they're gonna spawn, so it doesn't really matter that much. Here, doing it again, a little bit of a setup, hopefully going for the double. Didn't work, unfortunately. Oh well, then we just gotta wait for this one to respawn again. After they disappeared once, then the location they spawn is random. There we go, now we got a double. We're gonna go try for a strat over here. Gonna hope it's in there. Nope. That's gonna be... I think it's in the painting, yeah. Alright, I wanna lure the boost slightly away from this medallion over here. And I'm gonna suck up the medallion right at the same moment I capture the boo. Now I'm gonna do a save warp over here. And with that, we already grabbed the fire medallion, but we used the save box of capturing the boo to actually move on. That way, we don't get... When grabbing that fire medallion, with the fire medallion, we can grab fire. And we can use that fire element. But with that, you don't have to watch through a very, very long text box Eget gives you while grabbing that fire medallion. And we also don't have to figure out how to escape from that room. We check for some extra cash, and we grab this key. Oh, golden mouse. I'll gladly grab some extra cash if the game allows me. And over here, we're gonna light these candles over here. Unfortunately, because I went for the golden mouse, it wasn't on the most optimal cycle. However, it does give us some extra time to actually complete this next room over here, because that's the butler. Once you light his candles, he's slowly gonna move to the butler's room because he's actually scared of the fire. Don't know why he's carrying a candle for that reason. But yeah, it gives us some time to actually complete this room over here. So it's only a few ghosts over here. And you also see Mario's head over there. I'm not gonna grab it just yet because I'm gonna try to attempt a small animation skip over here. Oh. Oh. Okay. Quickly gonna do this. Oh, that's not good. He's gonna hit me. Or not. Gotta hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Quickly gotta capture him. Oh, I was just too late. That's really unfortunate. Oh well. Since we were in this room already, I actually have to move all the way back. I tried clearing this room before he would disappear, but unfortunately now we have to walk back and light his candles again. That's really unfortunate. I shouldn't have gone for it. I should have just played it safe. So yeah, let's just walk back here again. Walk back again. I guess we're gonna capture one of the boos early then, since we have to wait for him again. So we're gonna move back to this room over here. And normally the boo is probably in one of these spots over here. I'm just checking multiple spots at once like that. Fortunately, he wasn't in there, so we gotta check this spot. Yeah, we captured that boo. And in this chest, there's like, unless most of the other chests we've seen so far, there isn't any key in there. It's just money. But hey, since it's 100%, it's really useful to go for the money, right? Anyway, we'll wait for him over here for a bit. And now he starts showing his heart, and I'm actually gonna lure him over to this corner here, because if you actually look at the bottom left now, you can actually see a sapphire appearing. And this sapphire, I believe it's worth 2 million. And it's pretty easy spot to check. So it's definitely worth it to grab that sapphire over there. Also, you just hear the boo cackle. That means it actually switches location somewhere in the room. So at first, the boo was probably gonna be in this little closet on the top here. However, it moved right before I wanted to check that spot, and then it moved to the right there. Most likely, I can't say for certain. It might have been the decoy that moved. Anyway, here we enter a secret room. We're gonna already open the exit again because it's gonna be really useful. But we first gotta beat some ghosts over here. This is also the first time we see the element ghost. These element ghosts, you can't capture them unless you use the corresponding element on them first. Ah, I thought I had them all. Okay, that's gonna make this more interesting. I think it's fast if you just burn them at this point. There we go. And with that, we clear this room. We clear this room for 2 reasons. First one, there's a lot of money in here. Woo! And so yeah, we're gonna grab a sapphire, an emerald, and a ruby. Getting us quite a lot of cash. Hopefully, nope, it wasn't in there. Then it's in here. And with that, we're executing a little glitch over here. Normally, we would get a text box after capturing a boo. However, if we go into the mouse hole right when we capture the boo, it actually skips the text box from appearing. Like, the animation gets cancelled where Luigi would actually start talking to Eget, and you know, saving text boxes, it's definitely very useful. So we just found the key in the butler's room to this next room over here, and this is probably one of my favorite rooms. It's the music room. Before the portrait ghost starts appearing, we gotta activate all the instruments, and a nice little tune starts playing. And when we do that, melody appears, and before we can capture her, she's gonna let us hear a song over here. And she's playing the water theme. She can play 2 different songs. She can either play the water theme or the sky theme. I don't read Japanese, but luckily I know if she plays the water theme, I need to pick the first option. And if she would play the sky theme, I need to pick the third option. It's luckily that is set at least, because otherwise I wouldn't need to learn answers, and it would be rough. Oh, some of the pearls being on top of the piano, that's not good. So now I actually gotta grab them. There we go. Oh, please. And the boo moved to over here, I think. This is one of the rooms where the boo rather doesn't really help you. It just so many objects you can check that it's almost like all the 3 bongos can actually respond to. He actually moved back to his cabinet over here. Oh well. Quickly gonna capture it. The boo ball can kind of throw you a little bit if it gets in the way while capturing it. It can actually block off your vacuum. This boo tends to escape rather quickly, so I'm really glad that boo ball didn't really mess with us there. Here we're gonna move to this room over here, and this is actually where the first optional portrait ghost is gonna be. First we're gonna light these candles over here, and there's this big guy over here eating whatever this may be. We're quickly gonna clear his plate here, because if we do... Oh, wasn't fast enough. Oh well, then we got to stand here for a little bit longer. But once his plate is empty, the little ghost starts panicking, and once it's actually empty, he becomes really mad. But, you know, I don't... Oh. I don't actually open this. There, we open up the oven, and put some fire in there, and apparently that spawns a ruby. And once we open this chest over here, we actually get our second medallion, the water medallion. With the water medallion, well, same as with the fire medallion, we can now capture the water element, which, you know, you do the obvious things with water, you know, extinguish fires, water plants. It's pretty obvious. Now we're gonna walk back to this room because it actually takes a little while before you can capture this one. So now we're just gonna avoid all the fireballs he's shooting at us. And after he shot a couple of them, he actually shows his heart. Oh, don't trip over the mana. Okay. One thing about the pearls spawning, the big pearl actually spawns when you suck at least 90% of the health of the portrait ghost in one go. Oh, I need to... Okay, this, just need to check locations. As you can see, the radar is really weird. Like, when I first walked by that... When I first walked by that refrigerator, it just didn't really start blinking, but when I walked back, it just started blinking again. It's really weird. I should like extinguish this door first. Oh well. I guess I can show. Like, normally you want to extinguish this door first. Hello. There we go. Because it actually takes a little while before I can actually open the door. So as you can see, I can't open it yet. But now we suddenly can. Alright, this is gonna be a very important spot for the 100% run, because we're gonna water this plant over here while avoiding this portrait ghost dog. But yeah, we now made the plant a little bit bigger. Unfortunately, it doesn't give us anything yet. However, if we do this like 3 times in the run, every time in between the second and the third boss again, and between the third and the fourth boss, then we can actually, then the plant will be fully grown. And once we do that, I'm just gonna leave it a little bit for a surprise right now. We'll see in a little bit later what's gonna happen when we fully water the plant. Here, we're checking this pipe, and there's a ruby in there. I'll gladly grab that. We're gonna move over here to this tombstone, and I'm gonna try to manipulate these skeletons a little bit. Now, if you keep flashing your flashlight like that, and just repeatedly keep doing that, you can actually kind of stun the skeleton in place. Then that second skeleton eventually will approximately be at the same location, and it will actually be able to get a double there. So yeah, now we're gonna go to the second boss fight, which is Bachmeier. Bachmeier is a very interesting boss. It's one of... Wait, no, there's 2 bosses in this game you can one cycle, and Bachmeier is one of them. Bachmeier can be a little bit tricky though, because once you start capturing him, he tends to escape quite easily, or at least escape from your grip quite easily. I'm gonna try to go for a one cycle, but Bachmeier sometimes tends to be going all over the place. So we first capture one of those black Bachmeier copies. Oh, that was unfortunate. Oh well, that means we gotta go for 2 cycles. Luckily, this boss fight isn't the biggest deal if you miss a cycle. It only takes like 10 to 15 seconds extra to actually do that. But yeah, as you can see, Bachmeier just goes all over the place, and it's really difficult to keep him under control. So yeah, that's the second boss fight of this game, and just as with like the previous boss fight, we're gonna go... Eget is gonna give us a call over here, and he basically is like, yeah, come back to the lab again and return the portrait ghost. So sure, let's give him the portrait ghost back. Oh, I finally have a break of talking. Jeez. So yeah, now I don't know what kind of setup this is. It's like for some reason the portrait ghost first gets sent in some sort of washing machine. I don't know. Then they get squashed a little bit. Then they get electrified, and then I don't know even what happens in there. Yeah, now you can see, actually, little thing, it doesn't really matter that much for the run, but you see these different kinds of frames for each of the portrait ghost, it actually is determined by how many pearls you grab for each of the portrait ghosts. So if you, as you can see, most of those portrait ghosts have a golden frame, and that means that you basically grabbed all the pearls you could possibly get from there. Really quickly gotta check my money here. 18 million. I'm a little bit low on money. I need to check an extra spot, I think. So yeah, the golden frame around it basically mentions how well you've beaten that boss fight, because usually it means that even though it's based on the pearls, normally it means is if you capture that portrait ghost relatively fast, it actually means you'll also be grabbing the pearls. It's really interesting because in the 80% no advance category, even though you really capture the portrait ghost just as fast, just because you don't grab the pearls, it's usually just gives you bronze frames. Also here, we're grabbing the water element and we're gonna water that one plant over here. And after that, we're gonna fall into the well over here. And this is the perfect time for a little bit more of story. So Luigi won this mansion, but Mario eventually went to check out first. But for some, Mario didn't return, so Luigi's coming over to check it out. What might have happened to Mario? And oh no, he's stuck in a painting. Oh no. But wait, didn't we find Mario's head earlier? I don't know. It's I don't know. It's, there might be something weird about that Mario and that painting, besides the quality of the painting being really bad. Anyway, we need to watch that cutscene to collect this key over here, and now we're gonna go climb up this ladder again. Gonna try to go for a little skip here, stumble skip. Didn't really get it. I got it halfway. I did avoid the stumble, but I didn't get the quickly get my vacuum out. So in the end, it didn't save any time. Here I'm checking an extra spot for money. I'm a little bit low on money. All right, here we're gonna check for. We're gonna capture another optional portrait ghost, and we're also gonna capture the first speedy spirit. Speedy spirits are ghosts hidden in certain rooms, and once you capture them, they actually. Oh, that's not the correct angle. Hang on. There we go. So yeah, speedy spirits give you a lot of additional money. So, why did he clip all the way down there? That's not good. All right. Oh, don't get hit, Luigi. And we gotta. Stop running into the punching bags, Luigi. Luckily, he stays there for a little bit on the ground. Yeah, this is the second optional ghost, and I should solve to actually capture him. We first need to hit him with the punching bags 3 times. And as you can see, the punching bags are kind of annoying. And with most of, with all the rooms with the optional portrait ghost in there, a chest will always spawn after you've captured the portrait ghost. But, you know, since it's an optional ghost, it's not actually going to give you a key, so it usually just drops a lot of money, including a diamond, which is going to be worth 2 million. And since there's 5 optional portrait ghosts, again, better RNG, so we gotta jump over here. With the 5 optional portrait ghosts, we actually get 10 million in money, so you can slowly start to see where the money starts coming from to get to that 100 million. Alright, with that captured, we're gonna go for a little skip over here. I'm gonna shoot some water through the floor to the ceiling here, and you hear the little notification sound. This door up here was actually on fire, but for some reason you can actually shoot water through the floor there. Also, some free money over here. Oh, please grab the ruby. Let me first finish the previous story. You can actually shoot water through the floor there. Once you do that, you can actually, once you get up the stairs, you can actually already go through the door, instead of having to wait like the previous door in the kitchen where we had to wait on the fire extinguishing from that door. Anyway, the golden mouse we just saw, that's already the second golden mouse we saw, that's actually pretty good RNG. The golden mouse are completely random, but usually when you capture them, they give you a lot of money. This one gives a ruby, which is worth quite a bit, so it's definitely worth going for it. I can probably skip out on some money later then. So now we just got the third element medallion, which is the ice medallion. With that, it's probably the most useful out of the three, I would say. Oh, RNG is not really in my favor today. Because with the ice power-up, we can... the major thing we can do with the ice power-up is freeze water. However, there's a really nice added touch, which I'm gonna show in a little bit. Also here, we first have to walk around, so hopefully don't get hit by everything. It can get so clustered in there. Yeah, but this is Granny. Before we can capture her, we need to grab 3 yarn balls and hit her with all 3 of them. And if she starts shooting you with lasers, or at least I always think they look like lasers. I'm pretty sure they're not intended. Oh. Have to be really careful over here. Make sure I don't lose her. I'm actually trying... Oh, it didn't work. There's actually a way to duplicate pearls. If you shoot out an element right at the same frame when you would collect the pearl, you would actually grab the pearl, but the pearl would also still be on the ground. That way, you can actually collect pearls twice if you really want to. It's really only gonna matter that much if you're gonna do one of the big pearls, because those are worth 1 million. However, it can add up a little bit for your money overall. Up next is this portrait ghost. There's a beautiful lady in the bathtub, but once we actually unlock her, the shadow wasn't completely wide. This ghost can be really tricky, just because she tends to move around a lot. And another tricky room about this room is that the pearls can kind of get stuck a lot in the bathtub. For that reason, we're actually gonna go. We went for the grandma first because, once pearls start spawning, there can only be a set amount of pearls spawned at a certain moment. Therefore, since those two portrait ghosts are so close to each other, if we would miss some pearls in one of the rooms, it would actually spawn less pearls during the capture of the next portrait ghost. Which means if pearls get stuck in the bathtub, it can get... oops. Didn't able to get a double there. No big deal. But yeah, if we would go for the portrait ghost in the bathtub first, and some pearls get stuck in there, we basically would lose those pearls as well during the next portrait ghost. So for that reason, we go to the grandma first. There. Another double. Now there's gonna be 3 ghosts spawning at once. There is a setup to get a triple here, however, there's also a very easy setup to get a single and then a double, so I tend to go for that one. We're quickly gonna check these spots over here. This is one of those rooms again where the radar doesn't help that much, just because all of these chandeliers are... they can be in each of these chandeliers, so the radar just usually just goes wild during in this room. Anyway, now we get to the observatory, or I'm not. Is it called the observatory? I think it's called the observatory. And now we get a little bit of a cutscene where we looked into the sky, and once we look around, like, it's the moon! We found it! Also, we got a little bit of a sound glitch there. Normally music would be playing there. But the audio in Luigi's Mansion is just sometimes really weird, and it just doesn't start playing at certain moments. So over here we gotta grab one of the comets or the stars falling down, and when we shoot at the moon, it just explodes. Oops. I hope that hope that's not too bad. I'm sure we'll be fine. Anyway, here we collect another one of Mario's items. It's Mario's star. This will be our 3rd Mario item, if I believe. There will be 5 Mario items in total, and we need to grab all of them to actually advance the story. So this is Mario's star, and with that, we got a little bit of... basically, before the next part is actually going to be finding all of Mario's items. So now we're just going to complete some rooms to find the remaining 2. Earlier, if you remember correctly, in the gym downstairs here, we actually went onto the treadmill and grabbed a key there. Technically, it's an optional key. However, it's the key to this door. And we're gonna be walking up and down the stairs that many times that it's definitely worth it to go for that key. We're gonna skip out on this room just for a little bit. We'll be walking there back in a moment. But first we're gonna go to the projector room. It's very similar to the mirror room. You can't actually see the ghost, however, you do see the shadows being protected on the screen over here. But again, I know where they're gonna spawn, so doesn't really matter that much. Up next will be a double. And go for the setup again. Unfortunately, that didn't work. Right, at least I hope I can get the triple setup then. Nope, not even close. It can get a little bit tricky with so many things going on at once. Oh well, then just quickly clear out this room then. Gonna stand near the chest here. Oh, I was behind it. And nope. So this is the fourth of Mario's item, Mario's glove. So right now we only need one more item, so we can almost head to the advancement of the story again, so to say. We grab this boo over here, and in the next room it's gonna be another one of the optional portrait codes. This is definitely one of the more annoying ones. First, we gotta wait for a little bit before we can actually start capturing. So we're just gonna go to the ceiling fan over here. And if we wait long enough, a lot of money comes out. But when he shoots these pool balls, they shoot off in completely random directions, and they can be really annoying. Hopefully, where's the third one? Unfortunately, we didn't get it in once. Oh, and I didn't get this Speedy Spirit either. It's so difficult to get the Speedy Spirit after you don't get it immediately. Yeah. But yeah, those pool balls actually disappear after a certain amount of times they hit the walls. Sometimes you're really unlucky where it just gets stuck somewhere, and that was a really clean capture actually. He just stayed in place there. That was really nice. Fortunately, the boo wasn't in there. But yeah, those pool balls are really random, and it's really annoying to deal with them. It's actually gonna be in here. Alright, we're gonna capture this boo over here. And we've already done this once, or twice in the run, but I didn't really talk about it yet. But one really convenient way of traveling across the mansion is actually taking a picture of a mirror. When you take a picture of a mirror, you actually just get sent back to the main hall. And that's really going to be convenient, because if you might have remembered earlier, there was some doors we didn't check yet in this hallway over here. And now we finally got the key to one extra of those rooms. So now we can go back here and do a little bit of cleanup over here, getting some of the boos we didn't get earlier. So we're gonna capture this boo. Getting some extra fire element. It's always useful to have some extra element. Oh, I forgot the room was already lit there. Also, you might see me spewing a little bit of element before I enter a dark room. That's actually called... that's actually an animation skip, where normally Luigi would takes half a second to take his flashlight out and actually before he can start walking. However, with that, with the element skip, you can actually just immediately start walking in there. Also, these twins, they want to play with you for a little bit, so they're gonna play hide and seek, but they can be in 5 of these boxes, completely random which 2 they are. However, there's a little trick to tell in which they are if you... Oh, pay attention. Oh, unfortunately didn't get that. Oh well. There's a trick to tell in which they are if you actually just use your vacuum and check all the boxes. If they start shaking, it means that one of them is going to be in there. And this is also the first instance where we have to get 2 capture codes as part of the same set. Only the red one drops the pearls, so for that reason I kind of want to go for that one second, because otherwise it can get kind of annoying to not get hit while grabbing the red one, and we would lose out on a lot of pearls, and I really don't want to do that. Pearls are such an important part of your money route in this game. We capture that boo. As you can see, boos are slowly getting more health there. This one has 100. And, you know, you see all these other doors in this hallway over here. However, some of those doors are fake. The remaining doors I don't go in. Those are all fake. When you try to open them, they actually damage you, and yeah, it's just a fake door. Also, beautiful plan. All right, now we're gonna go to the final room over here. This room, it's really laggy, so oh, that's really unfortunate. I tried going for a cutscene skip in this one, or at least a text box skip. If you would, like earlier with the mouse hole, if you actually start a different animation while capturing a boo, you would actually skip the text box afterwards. So I tried setting up by pulling out one of the bad sheets. However, since I don't know exactly why it didn't really work, but if you would have captured oh, wait, hang on. I know what to do here. First do this, we spawn light for long enough. Take a picture of the cheese that spawns a golden mouse. Really useful because it gives us another sapphire. If Luigi will grab it. And yeah, this is Clairvoya. She talks a lot. She really talks a lot. So the next minute and a half are just gonna be text smashing at this moment. And she tells a little bit about what happened, that Mario got here and that Bowser probably captured him, or that Bowser probably has to do something with it. But, you know, this is a very boring part, so I would, if my host would love to tell me something about the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering or anything they want to talk about, that would be a perfect time.
That I can do, because, you know, we are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering, a monthly event here in the Netherlands, and we are currently raising money for the Dutch Cancer Society, a charity organization that strives for less cancer, more research, and a better quality of life for those already battling the disease. 90% of your donations will go directly towards the Dutch Cancer Society, so be sure to get those in. We still have one donation incentive coming, as the Dark Souls character name is still open for about another 45 or so minutes. Currently in the lead is Lava Boost with 41 euros, with 0 deaths. In second place with only 5 euros, and Poyo in third with just 1. So it'll take a little bit to get to dethrone Lava Boost, or you could do the objectively better thing and strengthen the position of Lava Boost as you help us to get to the 500 mark. Yeah, be sure to get your donations in, keep them coming, and let's try to still reach the 500 before the end, right?
Thank you, Cruel. So, yeah, just in time, we just got through the entire box of text matching. It's really annoying. It's just mashing there. It can actually. I'm not the greatest matcher, so I actually lose quite a bit of time against other runners. Definitely see that during races. But yeah, good text mashing compared to bad text matching can easily save like 15 seconds there. Anyway, I almost forgot a very crucial part. Oh, luckily I just remembered. We still need to clear this room. Like earlier we captured the portrait ghost in here, but you know, we have to go back to this room anyway, so I left this room until later to actually grab the treasure chest and go find the boo. Hello? Can you please? Luigi, don't get stuck. It's gonna be a little bit annoying to check where the boo is. Should be.
Oh yeah.
Like, sure. Move. Why not? Oh, somewhere in here. There we go. Please get back here, boo. Don't want you to escape. He almost escaped there. But we got him. But yeah, the reason we have to go back here, like I mentioned earlier, there's this plant in the backyard over here, which we need to water multiple times. And now would be the optimal time to actually do it. You see me opening the fridge there for a little moment. Makes sense in a moment why we do that. But while we do that, we grab some of the water element, and I'm just gonna shoot some water balls. And hopefully... Hello? There we go. The plant is a little bit bigger now. And before we actually walk out this room, we actually are gonna grab an ice element. Because for the next room, we actually need it. So now it used to be for the longest time we would actually get that ice element, to get water that plant way earlier, just because it would be really bad to forget. However, since we need to get the ice element anyway, it's slightly more optimal to actually do it right at the end of Area 3, because we're getting to the end of Area 3 already, where we only have to clear one more room and then we can go fight a boss again. Oh, avoid those guys. Those guys are really annoying. They're, as you heard just now, they explode. And that's not... Luigi actually gets a really... wait. I forgot which one spawns first. Oh. I'm done. I need to initiate the spawn. Oops. Oh. There we go, we get that one. I'm actually gonna spray the ice element a little bit earlier here. That way, when he spawns, he won't actually have its element like it normally would have. So that way we don't have to... Oh. Oh. That's really bad. I tried going for a double there, but I just didn't get either of them. This room can get really annoying. There's two of these ghosts that keep throwing bananas, and bananas are the most annoying thing ever in this game. Because sometimes that happens, where it just flies into your face and you slip. Because that's how you slip, right? When you get a banana to the face. Yeah, I'm just gonna clear out the bananas for now, just so I don't slip while capturing these ghosts. Gonna walk over here, grab an additional key. Oh, fortunately that's a boo bomb. It's RNG hasn't been the greatest with me with these boo locations, unfortunately. Like most of the time, the boo's actually in one of those boxes. Like I think. Anyway, we got that boo over there, and with that, we're actually heading up to the next boss fight. Doing the little element skip again, just so we can start walking a little bit faster. Here, I'm actually gonna switch to a different movement control. As you can see, Luigi is now walking sideways instead of normally he always points to the way you're walking towards, but now he just keeps facing the same direction. That's gonna be really useful for the session coming up after this boss fight, but yeah, we can just activate it here because this is the first moment where it doesn't really... Most of the time the regular controls are preferred, but for the next session the sideways moving method is gonna be way more useful. So yeah, this is... we saw many boos out there forming into this big boo over here, and yeah, we gotta find some way to capture this, because currently it's way too big to actually capture it. So there are these unicorn statues over here, and if it actually hits the horn, it just splits apart and all the small boos start appearing. However, before we can actually capture the boos, we need to shoot, we need to freeze them. And, oh. Oh, well, there was one stuck behind there. I didn't get the one psych. You can get a one psych on this one. I tried lining myself up really well, so I would hit like most of the boos at once. However, it can be a little bit tricky. No. Okay, one left. At least it won't form into a big boo again. But yeah, with that we captured the third boss, and as you can see as well, our boo counts increased immensely from 24 to 39. So yeah, we only got 11 more boos to go, and already done with the third area out of 4. So seems like we're making really good progress over here. match through some more text boxes over here. And as usual, after defeating the boss, we're actually gonna return all the portrait ghosts to EGAT, put them in the washing machine again, so they're all nice and clean, I guess. Don't ask me why. EGAT just has interesting inventions, so to call them. So yeah, up next is gonna be Area 4, and Area 4 is definitely gonna be the most difficult area. Like, it's what you would imagine from the final area of the game. However, especially since we're doing 100%, this area becomes even way more difficult. In the 80% now out of bounds category, you actually the final area isn't that long in comparison to 100%, just because most of the boos in this area are gonna have a lot of health, and for that reason, any percent doesn't really go for those boos. Also, I should probably mention the difference between 80% and 80% no out of bounds. 42 million, that's good. Only have around 42, 43 million there. So yeah, there's actually there are two different kinds of 80%. We have 80% and 80% no out of bounds. 80% no out of bounds is the most common category. It basically means beating the game without going out of bounds. I know, obvious, right? But yeah, there's a certain glitch which you can do right after the first boss fight that can let you go out of bounds, and it's very hard movement to actually, once you're out of bounds, you can actually maneuver your way all the way to the final boss area, and you basically beat the game within 15 minutes. It takes away a lot of the game because it basically beat the first boss and start glitching out of bounds. Most people prefer to run the 80% no out of bounds category just because you get to see all the areas and you'd actually see a lot of more gameplay from Luigi's Mansion. And 80% by itself is pretty hard now. 80% no out of bounds is a really good game to a good category to get into a speedrun. It's not that difficult to learn, but it's really hard to master though. So yeah, now that we walked all the way to the rooftop again and get close to this door, that mansion gets hit by lightning, and we triggered a blackout. So now we gotta find some way to oops, there are ghost spawns, and this is why we go in sidestep mode. It makes us able to actually keep pointing at all the spots where all the ghosts are gonna spawn. If we would just have the regular mode, ghosts would just spawn every second, and Luigi would just keep getting scared over and over again, and it takes a really long time. In sidestep mode, it's a little bit easier to maneuver, to actually... also, you spin really fast in sidestep mode. But yeah, hopefully with some good movement over here, I can just keep pointing my lights in very specific direction and hopefully not get scared at all. Oh. Also here, biggest part of RNG of the run coming in. This is Uncle Franker-C. He can show his heart immediately. It can take like 30 seconds before it shows heart. So having him show his heart like within 5 seconds, that's really good RNG. So yeah, with that we captured Uncle Franker-C, and with that we get a key to one of the rooms in the ceiling. In the basement. I wanted to say cellar, and then just some weird happened. So now we're gonna go down there because there's actually where we're gonna be able to deactivate this blackout, because you know it's really annoying in the blackout. We can't capture anything, and we need to do it to advance the story anyway, because once we do that, the key to the next room actually appears. Here we're gonna go for check some of these barrels. Nope. It's in the back here. Gonna manipulate the Boog here a little bit. Gonna let him attack here just so he's closer to the corner there. Did it well because I didn't avoid him. But yeah, this Boog has 200 health, and we can do this trick for a little while, but after a certain moment you can't really... You'll just start escaping no matter what. We can manipulate the Boo in staying pretty long in the room, but once we get around to 150 health drained, or around, technically it's 15 of those air pumps, he starts to actually flee the room no matter what. Here, we gotta capture 2 ghosts. Both of them are hidden in a barrel over here. And there's these big piles of sand over here, which can be a little bit annoying. So before I'm actually gonna look for the boo, I'm gonna at least clear out this one, because we need to get the key anyway. Gonna grab it, and this room can get really annoying just because it's just so cluttered. The boo tends to escape really fast in this as well. Check. Oh, it should be in here. Oh, it's up there. Okay. Oh, sorry for the rattling noise of the shelf. Yeah, that moment really spun me though. Very often, other items start appearing out of that shelf over there. Like, well, earlier, a heart popped out. Sometimes gold bars drop out as well. And Luigi tends to not aim at boos, but rather at other objects like big money items, gold bar and up, and hearts. So if you would actually have 1 or 2 of those items spawn out of there, Luigi tends to go for those, and then the boo usually escapes. So for that reason, I was very careful there, making sure I grabbed the heart before I actually started looking for the boo again, because that heart probably would have ensured that I wouldn't be able to capture that boo. Anyway, with that, we got another key for upstairs, so we unlocked the door up there earlier, but we didn't really have the keys to advance much further there. So now we're actually gonna explore the attic a little bit. You're manipulating again, so ghosts don't spawn. And let's check over here. This is where the run starts to become really difficult, because a lot of the boos in here. Also, that it's completely random whether that guy spawns or not. If he spawns, you lose like a second, and it's annoying. This is where the boos start getting really difficult, because they're all gonna have large amounts of health. Here, oh, gotta go for a skeleton. And let's go for the skeleton in this chest. And with that, we cleared this room. It's an optional room to clear, but since there's a boo in here, it's really worth it to go for it. Money-wise, it's not the most interesting room though. The chest gives a little bit of money, but not that much. Alright, now we get to the toy soldiers. This is the only portrait ghost where we have to capture 3 of them to actually clear 1 portrait. So, with that, we quickly activate all the clocks there, and we're gonna hopefully get this one towards the corner over here, just so the other 2 don't start attacking us. Actually, gonna first try to capture the green one, because it's actually the blue one that gives you the pearls, and I'd rather keep that one for last, since, you know, the other toy soldiers won't be in the way then. Got kind of stuck on the table there, that's really good. These toy soldiers tend to get kind of annoying, but like, since it was right over here, I think. Hello? Oh, I need to actually check that manually. Alright. As you can see, this boo has 300 health. It's, they then start to get way more difficult. Oops, I ran into him. Okay, he escaped to the room we were in earlier. Like, it isn't possible to get him in 1 cycle. Technically, it's possible to get him in 2 cycles, but that's still really difficult as well. Here, a lot of Shy Guys spawn, and I don't really want to deal with them, so I just burn them all. Oh, at least I don't shoot all my fire away. And after that happens, I'm gonna wait here for just a little bit, and then these 2 start appearing. Quickly gonna burn them, and oh, didn't get the double. Oh well. I'm just gonna lure this ghost a bit closer to this part over here. Then hopefully, I think I got it. Yeah, Luigi already started climbing the ladder just a little bit during that cutscene. It saves, doesn't save that much time, but it's a pretty easy trick to go for. Oh, we're not gonna use the ladder to go down again. If we just keep spraying an element and then go towards where a ladder is, Luigi just falls down. Luigi can take the hit, I'm sure of it. So yeah, that boo earlier moved towards this room, so I know there's gonna be 2 boos in this room now. So I'm quickly gonna look around for it. One is probably in this chest over here. Oh, that's a boo ball. And one of them is gonna be underneath the stable cloth. Yeah. This is the one we missed earlier. Since I'm probably not gonna get this in one go anyway, I'm gonna try manipulating it going to the upper room. Because we need to go back to the upper room again anyway, so... Also the other boom moves, I'll go for that later. We need to go to the rooftop once more anyway, so it's not too big of a deal to not having that one yet. Yeah, this is the armory room, and as you might notice, this room gets really laggy. There's so many objects in this one that it's just gets really difficult to do the setup correctly. At least I got a double. Something. Gonna grab that one. There's one more ghost hidden in this one. Just for consistency's sake, like the boo in this room you can technically get in a one cycle, and that would be optimal to grab him now. However, if it escapes to the room over here, since this room isn't lit yet, we can't really capture him over here yet, so I'd rather have him... Oh, hang on, got the first... Wait, how do I spawn this thing again? I have to do something like this, right? Yeah. This guy can sometimes be really little bit weird on when it spawns. Anyway, this is... he's gonna pop out of these jars over here. And, you know, we can wait for him to actually pop out of one and then decide where we're gonna spray, but it's just easier to just keep your eyes element like this and keep spraying all of them. As you can see, he almost instantly breaks when I do that. There we go. You need to hit him 7 times. I think that was 7. And with that, we can start capturing this ghost. It's one of the optional ones. And this room can get a little bit annoying. There's a lot of jars flying around which can make you to lose the portrait ghost. No. Oh, that's a boo bomb. And... Where is it? I need to grab this money first. Yeah, that's 4 out of 5 optional portrait ghosts. Only one more to go. What is it? Hello? Come on, boo. Don't move. I'll beat this one. There we go. 200 health. Luckily, all the rooms up here are lit now, so... Actually gonna... There we go. I lured him down here, I think. Should be. No, he actually fled to the hallway. I thought he moved down this room. I was hoping for that. And I quickly gotta check. It's back here. Oh, it's the boo bomb. No! And it moves towards this one. Oh, that's not good. Hopefully I can get him in one cycle. Oh, he went back to Jarvis' room. Oh well, then that means we gotta walk back for a little bit. Mario. The other boo probably moved towards the toy soldier room. At least that's what I'm gonna hope for. Technically, he can still be in the hallway there, but the boo just doesn't stay in the same room forever. So eventually, he moves either back to Jarvis' room or to the toy soldier room. And since he isn't in the hallway here, it means he went to toy soldier room. That's good. All right, here we gotta still find the boo with 300 health, I believe. It's gonna be in here. Yeah. So let's hopefully we can get a 2 psych on this one. Alright, technically it's doable to get a 2 cycle on him. Oh, he hit me. No. He moved to the hallway. Now I have to move all the way back. Oh. Pretty unfortunate that he hit me there. Otherwise, I would have gotten him. So, more moving. See, this is... Area 4 is really... really unforgiving. If you make a mistake like that, basically means that you gotta walk all the way back and forth, and it's really annoying. Anyway, should still be 2 more boos in that room, in this room, if I remember correctly. If anyone remembers differently, please tell me, because I don't really go all the way up here anymore. So now would be a really good time to still check whether they're here. But I'm pretty sure there's at least 2 in there, and after that we're fine. But yeah, there's 3 more in the basement. 2 more in optional. Hang on. Gotta find this one first. This room can be really annoying. Can you... Yeah. As you saw, the radar wasn't beeping there at all, but those mannequins that hang from the ceiling, those just... those are just... don't really respond to the radar. It's really annoying, just because the spot is actually just really high towards the ceiling. Also, we went on the elevator while that happened, while we captured that boo, but unfortunately that doesn't skip the cutscene. So let me quickly think. We get 1 boo in here, 2 in an optional room, and wait, no, there isn't a boo in here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're good on boo count. Like, with my count, we would end up with 51 boos. But I'm pretty sure that there aren't 50 boos, so I'm sure I'm discounting one somewhere. Nice, got a double there. So yeah, this is the second treasure room. But unlike the other one, it's just, instead of all the boos being in different rooms, in this room they're just all in the same chest, and then they just start all appearing all over the room. Can get really hectic, but they didn't cause too much trouble. Yeah, okay, there isn't the boo in this room. Kind of figured. Let's grab some extra money over here. I didn't go for the speedy spirit in here, I just realized. I'll go for some extra money in a different room then. So yeah, with that, we're gonna go out of that treasure room, and we're gonna walk downstairs again. You know, Luigi, he's really brave. Like, he goes all the way to this mansion. He won it, but then... Wait. Mario! Got lost. But, you know, unfortunately, Mario hasn't returned yet, so... You know, it's really sad for... Mario! That we can't really... that he isn't found yet. So hopefully we find... Mario very soon, otherwise it's we're gonna go overestimate, but then I don't want that. I think we're on a pretty decent pace though. Oh, didn't get the triple there, unfortunately. But still, we got a double. It's not still pretty good. The green guys floating around in that room, they can be kind of tricky. Mostly because they tend to hit you while you try to capture the other ghosts. For some reason, they didn't do that this time. I'm just not gonna complain, I'm just happy about that. So yeah, opening this chest over here with another key, which luckily unlocks the room next door. So luckily it's we don't have to go all the way across the mansion. Also, this boo is really slow. So even though it has 300 health, it's technically possible to get him in a 1 cycle, because you can just manipulate him moving back and forth. Unfortunately, I kind of messed up. Gotta check for another boo in here. Yeah, the breaker room boo actually went in here. At least we checked that. We're probably gonna wait just a little bit before we enter the next room. Currently, the boo from this room moved to the room down here. However, if it didn't hide yet, we can't really, it will probably move back to the room up there. I think it's fine now. Yeah. Oh, gotta grab some fire. If he would have entered this room too early, he would still be floating around here and then escape again. And I'd rather just have both of the boos in this room. Even though this room is the most annoying in the entire mansion. Just because, you know, ice mechanics. Gotta love your ice mechanics, right? That was a really good Western. Since the room is so slippery, it's really difficult to keep him under control. So normally I don't even get a one psych on him. So I'm really glad that happened. Also, bye Luigi. He's gone. Luckily he didn't disappear. Okay, this boo is really cackling a lot, and that means, like, sometimes if you're just barely too far from the boo, he starts cackling like crazy. That usually means that he's gonna escape the room rather quickly, so... fortunately I couldn't manipulate him to the hallway over here, because that would be a more ideal spot for him to be in. So now I gotta go back to the pipe room and grab him over there. We're almost done downstairs here though. We just got the key for a final room in the attic. Oh, he already hid. No. Where is it gonna be? It's gonna be in the corner here, I think. No? Okay, then it's in here. And after I capture this boo, we're gonna do another save warp, because walking all the way up again, it's not really fast, so I'm just gonna get over here again, save, and press my reset button. Press my reset button. And for some reason, the reset in the basement is really slow. Don't ask me why, it's just really weird. So yeah, now we're really getting close to the end of the run. Only a few more ghosts to capture, but no, we gotta walk upstairs for a little bit. Luckily, the thing, we can just...
Mario!
You gotta love Luigi. Constantly screaming.
Mario!
I think he's looking for Mario, I'm not sure.
Mario!
Let's ask him a few more times. What were you looking for again, Luigi?
Mario!
Okay, good to know. So yeah, we're gonna move to this room over here. We already got this key quite a bit earlier. It was the one in the second treasure room we were in. This is one more set of... there will be an optional portrait ghost, the final one, gonna be in the next room over. But first we gotta clear this room over here. First, lots of small ones appear, which is more easy to just burn them. Then after that, two more boos spawn, two more... Oh, wait, we're gonna go to this room first. I'm gonna grab the pool later. We're gonna get to this final optional ghost, and the entire room is upside down. Wait, how did I grab a fire element? I need to walk back for a little bit. You actually need the water element to spawn this, to show the heart of this portrait ghost. So, sorry, I'm gonna leave you for just a sec. Give me a moment. There we go. Alright. Second attempt. So, this is Stu P. We're gonna let her think that she peed her bad. And she's not gonna like that. She's really not gonna like that. So, we just spray her with water for a very long time, and then after that, try to capture her. This is a really one of the more difficult portrait ghosts, just because of the clowns. They're really difficult to avoid. So unfortunately, we didn't get 90 health in one go there, so she didn't drop a big pearl. That means we're losing out on one big pearl in total in the run. So wait, hang on. The treasure chest spawned on top of the ceiling, and it's kind of difficult to get to. But luckily, once we walk out of the room turns back to normal again, and now we can grab the chest. Just gonna play it really safe over here. Missing that big pearl. I'm not entirely sure if we're already on good enough pace for 100 million. So I'm gonna walk to the corner here and water this plant. That drops another sapphire. Now we just gotta figure out where the boo is. I think it's gonna be in here. Or it can be in there, maybe. There we go. And I'm gonna manipulate this one. I'm just gonna do that. I'm leaving him. Sorry. I didn't feel like capturing the Boo anymore. I'm gonna do a little bit of a weird strat here. I'm gonna lure them both to the hallway over here. And we're gonna try to go for a double Boo catch over here. It can be a really difficult one. Oh, I couldn't get the double. One, unfortunately, had way more health than the other, and Luigi prioritized on the other one. That's unfortunate. That means we gotta walk back again. If we would have gotten the double, it would have skipped the text box, and, you know, overall it seems like... It kind of depends. The length of the text boxes are actually random once you've gotten 20 boosts from the top of my head. So sometimes you just get a text box that takes like 10 to 15 seconds, and those are really annoying. Anyway, we're heading towards the final portrait ghost over here. Also the room with the final Boo in it. And this, before we can start fighting this final portrait ghost, there's a little bit of gonna be an enemy gauntlet. You see all these pictures of regular ghosts we've seen before, and we gotta fight them all. So there's the final portrait ghost, Fengor. It's a painter, and the things he paints, they come back to life. Well, technically they're ghosts, so they're dead already. It's, I don't know, it's difficult. Anyway, we're gonna spawn first these small yellow ones. Ultimately, you want to get triples on all of these, like, they'll spawn 3 for each of these. So I try to manipulate them, just so they get slightly close to each other, so it's a bit easier to grab a triple for those. There we got probably one of the more annoying ones. The Smashers. Got the triple, hopefully. There we go. Not that optimally, but at least it was still a triple. Rubber Ghost can be kind of annoying. Still got the triple. Alright, Shy Guys are probably one of the more easier ones. Yep. We can get them all. Then the banana Ghost, a little bit more annoying because they don't start chasing you, so you actually gotta go to a very specific spot there to get them all at once. And they all got stuck in the corner there. That's really nice. That makes sucking them up really fast. And for these final few, you just burn them all. They have 0 health anyway, so they die quite fast. I just realized that I forgot to do one thing during this final section. Luckily, we can still do that. So yeah, that's the final portrait ghost. With that, we unlock the final big key, which is making us able to go to the final boss of this game. But before that, we gotta grab one more Boo over here. And one really convenient thing about this Boo is, well, you can't get it in one cycle, unfortunately. However, this Boo, no matter what happens, he always escapes towards the hallways, and afterwards he always escapes back to this room. So it's really easy to manipulate him back into this room. Hopefully I can get a 2 cycle on him. Oh, unfortunately I couldn't. Well, then we'll go for a fast 3 cycle. I'm immediately gonna walk back into this room over here, because eventually he'll start moving back in again. Unless he stays all the way in the wall and I can't reach him. That's a little bit random though. Sometimes... There we go, now we got him. And with that, now that we captured all 50 Boos, a gold diamond appears. That gold diamond is worth 20 million. It's almost... we basically needed to get the 100 million requirement. And that made me realize that we forgot to do one section earlier during Area 4. So we gotta go get the other gold diamonds, which might be important to get the 100 million. Luckily, it isn't that far out of our way, so all we gotta do is go back over here again. Like, we've already went to the garden twice already, but I completely forgot to go here the 3rd time. Luckily, I realized before entering the final boss, otherwise it would have been kind of bad. Anyway, we grab the water again. Oh, a poison mushroom appeared. Quickly, walk away. There we go. And with that, blooms open and a lot of cash appears. including a gold diamond being another 20 million, leading us to already 40 million in gold diamonds out of the 100 million needed. It's a pretty big amount.
Mario.
So yeah, with that we got all the booze, we got all the portrait ghosts. All that's left to do is go downstairs to the final boss. So it's gonna be a little bit of a walk, so if my host wants to say something about things, a donation incentive coming up maybe pretty soon, now would be the perfect time.
Of course I can, Frosty. We have actually only one more donation incentive coming up for Dark Souls, like the name of the character. And at the moment, Lava Boost is still in the lead by a lot of money. So if you want to have another name than Lava Boost, then you need to be quick, because Dark Souls will be the next one.
Alright, we're gonna enter the final room over here, but right before we go walk to King Boo, I'm just quickly gonna check this chandelier again, because there's another sapphire in there. Just to be sure. I'm pretty sure I already have enough money, but I'd rather have that extra sapphire just in case it doesn't take that long to grab. So yeah, this is King Boo, and he's I don't know, good question from chat earlier was like, how did King Boo capture Mario if he's was locked up until then? I don't know either, but maybe, apparently it isn't Mario. It's Bowser. Apparently someone knows more about the story than I do.
Frosty, I'm very disappointed in your lack of knowledge of Luigi's Mansion lore. The Boos were not locked up, they were hiding because they do not want to get sucked up by the Poltergust 9000, and they actually run away from Luigi for that exact reason when you open the door where they are hidden.
Alright, I learned something new again today. Thank you, Dutch, for explaining Luigi's Mansion lore. Alright, so this is Bowser. We gotta find some way to capture him, and he's gonna throw some spike balls over here, but we're just gonna stand behind this pillar over here for a little bit. While he does that, we're gonna shoot. Oh, no! He got me. Can be kind of difficult to hit him there. Hitbox can be a little bit finicky on whether you hit him with that spike ball or not. Fortunately, we didn't get it, but we just get another try. Second time around, it's way easier to hit for some reason. I don't know why either. Anyway, now we got King Boo. Oh, he unfortunately escaped. I tried to bring him down a lot more with the air pump strat. However, he just got away just before I went for it. So 2 cycles not gonna be it. I'm gonna go for a fast 3 cycle then. So I have to keep this King Boo above 200 health, otherwise... Oh! Well, now I can show you the slow attack. Normally he would just throw his spike balls again, but now the head gets turned on backwards, and yeah. Alright, also for tag time is coming up pretty soon. The time will be when I capture the... when King Boo goes into my vacuum. Oh. There we go. No! One health. One health. Ah, well. I'm disappointed. Here we go. Alright, time's really soon. He only has 1 health. Okay, there we go. And time. So yeah, that's Luigi's Mansion 100%. Before we actually need to check still whether this is a 100% run or not. So we quickly gotta match through some text boxes here to actually see if we got on the 100 million. We got all the boos, we got all the portrait ghosts, and now we just gotta check for the 100 million. So EGAT's gonna call here, and in the back we see the painting of Mario. He's kind of unconscious, but Professor EGAT might have some way to actually figure out how to return him from the painting, because he has a machine that can turn ghosts into, put things into paintings. Maybe he also has some way to get something out of a painting. Alright, fair enough. Then, fair enough. Since we're behind schedule, we're not gonna look. It wasn't like a great time anyway. So, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed watching the run. Up next, final run. Hope you all enjoy.
Well, thank you, Frosty. Because of